Okay, thank you all. Apologies, my French isn't that good, so I'll do this in English. I'm super excited that we are here at the first Meet Magento France. I think it's already a huge success, 350 people in the first year. I think that's a major achievement, so yeah, I want to applaud the organization. You've all done a really great job, so thanks for that. So I want to talk a little bit about Hyvä, what else, and what we do and what our next plans are. We have some really exciting stuff coming up very soon. You might have already caught a bit of news on the things that we're going to release, but I have a nice demo today of a new product that we're launching, so exciting stuff. For those unacquainted, I don't know if you caught any Hyvä talk today. I'm very honored with all of the coverage that we're getting at this event, and yeah, so also very grateful to everyone presenting today. It's pronounced Hyvä, it's Finnish, but Hyvä or whatever also works. Hyvä. We started in 2020, or just me, and in 2021 we grew out to a company of 5, and then a year after 10, and then right now we're 24 people. We started with a front-end replacement, a team. That's why we were originally called Hyvä Teams, and right now we have a lot more to offer to merchants and agencies. So yeah, overall, we're enhancing the Magento platform, I would describe it. You hear this a lot. The ecosystem is changing. Recently, if you go into LinkedIn or whatever social platform, a lot of people are trying to lift on the opportunity to talk bad about Magento and its current state and what's happening to it. And the more we talk about what's going on, the more focus we put on that, the more other platforms are just enjoying sitting back and waiting for us to talk bad about our beloved platform. And yeah, just a short message from me. There's a lot of talk about hypes and new things, and I think as specialists, as professionals in our industry, we should focus on solving merchant issues and not get distracted with all of the talk about what's happening to the platform and all of the new hypes that come along and technologies and everything, and just go back to the core of our business, and that's solving issues for merchants. And I think we all together in this room have come together to talk about this beloved platform and this ecosystem and how we can all achieve better things together. And that's the strength that we have as an ecosystem and community. So let's look past the hype. There's always a new marketing thing that's being pushed. There's always talk of new technologies, whether it's Web3 or blockchain or whatever we should put on e-commerce platforms. Let's chill out a bit and focus on solving issues instead of just selling technologies and jumping on every new hype, and just make sure that we're selling something to a merchant that actually pays off. And let's focus on those merchant challenges. I like to see Magento as the proven car brand that's gone through decades of development and is proven worthy and reliable. Volkswagen runs Hyvä, so I didn't pick it without reason. But yeah, a reliable brand, building on existing technology and innovating, opposed to on the side innovation where someone designed a car just because he could, and he did some crazy things design-wise, but we end up with cars that nobody wants to drive, or actually is impossible to drive, and it shows, yeah, who's pulling who. And I think, yeah, let's reflect that to the technologies that we apply in our ecosystem. And as Hyvä, we want to focus on solving issues. As I said, Magento's been criticized, it's endured everything it's been thrown at, and still here we are talking about the successes that we all get from the Magento platform. All of the talks today present wins and successes on Magento, and we should reflect that online as well. Let that dominate the news. So yeah, we innovate where innovation is needed. We don't needlessly start implementing new technologies, whether that's blockchain or AI, unless we see there's actual use case for that. And I think Adobe is proving that there's a lot of innovation to be done with AI, whether that's generative images or whether you want to hook into product relations or merchant experience and use that in a smart way. We can do that with the ecosystem around our platform, and Adobe is showing that it can also be done with microservices. But let's focus on the use cases and not just on the technology. As an ecosystem, we collaborate, we make each other thrive or allow each other to thrive. Yeah, let's put that positivity and that innovation into the platform and ecosystem. And let's change the narrative. Talk about the positive things going on in the community and stop posting yet another message about the future of Magento, and just ignore that whole thing and focus on the positive things, because there are so many things that we can tell merchants that will convince them to buy into this technology. So with Hyvä, we want to dominate the news, so to say, and marketing around positive things that we achieve, instead of being distracted by all of the noise. So we solve pain points. That's how we operate. We look at the things that need to be improved, the things where people are really feeling lack of innovation or they're running into issues working with the Magento platform. We started off with the Hyvä team, which solved the dev experience, the biggest pain, I think, in the ecosystem, combined with performance. We solved those two things. Then we added Hyvä UI, which makes development of a front end much faster and quicker and more sexy, I dare say. We solved issues with checkout, making it more customizable, reducing the time to market and development time as well. Hyvä Enterprise, we have the best feature coverage for B2B features and everything on Adobe Commerce. All of the features standard in that Luma offers, we also already have made compatible. And we offer the same benefits in performance and time to market. So that's proven to be a really reliable solution that some of the top Adobe customers like Nestle, Volkswagen, Fiat are all running on right now. And then the exciting bit that I want to talk more about today is how we're going to solve issues with Hyvä Commerce. Well, we decided to go one step further and not just only touch front end of Magento, but we want to integrate into the admin of Magento and build new features also on the front end and in the admin. And with this, we're really focusing purely on the pain points of merchants. So we've worked with our partners together. We've asked them what are the biggest pain points that you see in projects that you're running, and we all voted and we collaborated in online sessions with our partners, and then distilled the things that are highest priority to fix. That's going to be a product suite in the form of Hyvä Commerce, and I'll talk a bit more about that. Our trajectory, I'll save some time and go over this quickly. We're growing 100% every year on all metrics. We have roughly 5,000 stores live now. That's also in a nice upward curve. And the community is growing very fast as well. So the black line is like the global amount of stores live. That's picking up quite rapidly. I like to focus on the red line because that's among the top 1 million websites worldwide. So right there, we right now have 933 stores live in the top 1 million of all of the websites in the world. And so that kind of excludes all of the demo sites, all of the sites that don't really represent high traffic merchants or SMB markets. Yeah, those are numbers by country. France is on 0.6. Let's try next year to see you higher on the list. I would love to see that. And this is the top technology stacks in the top 1 million websites globally. These are e-commerce technologies, not just front ends, and we rank on 0.22 since recently on all e-commerce systems. So that puts us on top of Shopware, OS Commerce, and a couple of other very proud about that. We partnered with Mollie last year to help us accelerate faster and grow our team so that we could build Hyvä CMS starting this January. We just hired 8 people in January to help us build Hyvä CMS. That's a really fruitful collaboration so far. We go out to events much more, and we do collaborations on e-commerce expos where we really would try to reach merchants, and Mollie's helping us achieve that faster. So that's a 24 people team since this January. We've already got the number 25 starting next week, or in 2 weeks. Yeah, these are exceptional people. I'm really proud about the team that we've assembled and how well they work together, and how if you put these amazing people together and work on things, it gets exponentially better. So yeah, really proud of this team. Yeah. We introduced our first version of a roadmap, which merchants and agencies have been desperately asking for in our Magento ecosystem. What are the things that we can sell to merchants? What can we look out to in terms of new features and improvements? We released this a couple of weeks back in Gran Canaria at Hyvä Dev Paradise, and since today this roadmap is actually available online on our website, hyvä.io/roadmap. And that's not just for Hyvä CMS, that's for all of our product suites. We now have what we're currently working on in the next cycle, and then in the next 9 to 12 months, I think. So if you want to know what we're up to, you can see this at all time on our roadmap page. Hyvä CMS. Why are we building Hyvä CMS? As I already touched on shortly, you can see that Adobe is investing on integrating commerce into their experience manager suite, and they are really aiming for the top segment of the market. SMB is not really a target group there. We are extremely lucky that they still integrate Magento into their tech stack. Even the newly SaaS solution that they're building is under the hood running Magento. Even though it's siloed, the technology stack still depends on Magento, which is a super good sign, I think, for all of us, because it means they're truly dedicated to supporting in terms of patches and security updates for years and years to come. On the on-premise or self-hosted version of Adobe Commerce, we see the biggest merchants worldwide also still stepping onto Adobe Commerce with Hyvä Enterprise. So we feel really confident about how much we can depend on Adobe to provide Magento for us in the future. And I think there's a lot of synergy still, because merchants move up and down the ladder, and I think anyone that we put on an Adobe Commerce license has the potential to go up on the ladder and maybe end up on the Edge Delivery or the new storefront solution. We want to speed up the time to market even more. We want to offer more features also in the admin, make the lives of merchants easier, and offer that roadmap that people have been desperately asking for. And we just want to make Magento the best possible version that it's ever been with new features that we're building. And also give kind of a future outlook to merchants, what their platform will look like in the next 4 to 5 years, and give them the assurance that they're buying into a technology that's evolving. One of the first things that we're building is an admin dashboard. We think if you log into the Magento admin, there's not a lot of use to the dashboard that you have there. There's so much more that we can offer there in terms of how your store is doing, and quick actions to jump into a specific CMS page that you've been last editing, or show how your performance currently is doing on a store. We're hooking into Google's Core Web Vital data, so you can see a graph how well your store is doing. I think it's crucial for a merchant to realize that the change in the tag manager that they made yesterday, that it has effect on the performance today, so they need to reach out to their marketing team and have that solved. and we shouldn't have them wait for an agency to tell them 3 months after that their performance went down drastically. So this dashboard will be, you can drag it and customize it to your own user profile. So any admin user of Magento will be able to create their own dashboard and decide how big widgets should be showing, and that's going to be highly extensible. So we want to have a basic crux, that's core web vitals data, stuff like conversion rate that you've had for the past weeks or months. Orders by country, and everything will be customizable per store view. So really highly flexible. Health checklist, just show a merchant that they're not running in production mode. That's like the simplest thing and the most harmful for your performance as well. So this is just a technical early look. That's the dashboard that we implemented for the core web vitals data. It will just show you for the 3 metrics how well you're doing. And then finally, once we get to implementing the design to that, it should look more like this than the previous slide. So we're mostly working now on the framework to make it adaptable, extendable, and that's coming along really nicely. Extension points, yeah, we want extension providers to be able to hook into this so they can add their own dashboards. So we're providing APIs and tools to run graphs and everything. It's going to be really cool. Yeah, that's a bit more technical. And I think I covered that as well. Let's be mindful of the time. We're creating a media optimization tool for the front end that will run on your template level, so that any image that you're running on the front end, it should never be 12,000 pixels and 12 megabytes big. We should just render everything through one image renderer that makes sure that any image served to a visitor on your website is always optimized. And we'll hook into that from product pages and from CMS pages. We'll offer extension developers also hook into that helper. And you'll be able to switch different compression techniques. It will work together with CDNs. Just to make sure that on the performance end, you're never hurting your performance with an image that's too big. It's also a bit more technical how you could execute that. Will pretty much just be a view model that you throw your image into, and the rest is magic. It will be customizable from the admin. You will be able to resize stuff through the CLI, a lot of tools attached to it. Then we're integrating an image editor, because why wouldn't you be able to just crop that image into the Magento admin, or flip it, or just adjust it to the size of your product page. We're using an existing library for that that's also being used by commerce tools. I think the name might be mentioned here somewhere. Yeah, File Robot Image Editor. It's very well maintained, it's extensible, it really gives us a quick way to implement that for all of our customers. That'll be implemented anywhere you have your image gallery. In the admin, we'll also add it wherever you're uploading an image, that you can just edit it and it will open an overlay where you can customize the image and override it. Also roll back the original version, so if you made a mistake and you want to go back to the one that you... It's the stuff that WordPress has had for 20 years and you just don't understand why Magento never got it, and we want to implement it. We're waiting for an admin team refresh that Achtem from Comrep has been building for MageOS. We're going to depend on that. We're going to create a child team in the admin based on this one to give it kind of a Hyvä look and feel. That's not a big technical impact. It's purely styling, because I don't know, as a merchant, if you look into the admin or anyone, it just looks as if you're working with Salesforce, and nobody wants that. And then this is the big one. We're replacing, well, we're not replacing, we're adding an alternative to Page Builder that's making content editing fun, and creating components and extending them and just creating a great user experience for merchants is as good as any third-party CMS system. Think Prismic, Storyblock. We're bringing that into the Magento admin, so no need to sync data, no API integrations, no extra license fee for €800 per month for Prismic. Just included with Hyvä CMS, and yeah, I'll give you a look into what that currently looks like. That's the design. I'll give you a quick look. Yeah, I might need 2 hands for this. That's why I didn't think. I'll put down the microphone and we'll see how it works. Okay, I have a demo environment set up. It's a standard Hyvä site. If you go into the CMS and you see Page Builder currently being loaded. Now, among the things that are not super nice about Page Builder is that the preview is never actually a preview of what your content looks like in the front end. So what this looks like might be way different from what the front end looks like, and it doesn't really give merchants confidence in editing content that it will actually look the same way in the front end. You can opt into the Hyvä CMS. We're calling the editor the live view editor. You can toggle any page to use the Hyvä CMS instead of Page Builder, so you don't need to remove all of your content already built in Page Builder. You can gradually start rebuilding your pages and building new pages using Hyvä CMS. So that's as easy as flipping a toggle, and you can already see that the preview that's being rendered is actually your store view. That's what it looks like in the front end. So if I want to edit this, it goes to a new page, and it's super performant because it's not the Magento admin, it's a separate controller, and it only runs our own technology stack. You can already see it's built around the preview. So on the left side you can see what your store looks like, and at the right side you have your toolbox where you can add components. There's a lot of stuff going on in the toolbar at the top where you can find some shortcuts to save data or undo redo. We're building import and export functionality, so going from staging or a different environment and loading it into your live store becomes a lot quicker. And then, well, let's add one component. We can start with a row, and then you can see we have nesting built in, and in the row I could add a slider, and in the slider I'm able to add, for example, an image or a banner, and that's my first banner. I can edit the content in the banner here. There's different tabs where I can also adjust the standard styling. This is configurable on a component level, so whether these design elements are available depends on how this component is configured. So when you're writing a custom component, you can add these options, as well as whether you can add custom CSS classes to this. But otherwise, it's quite straightforward. What's really nice about the live preview is that anything on the left side is clickable if that's implemented in a component. So whether you have a piece of text, you can make that focusable. So when I click the text on the left side, you can immediately see that the content is being highlighted right here. So I can immediately start typing here. And the preview updates on the fly. And then what's pretty cool is that I can save a page without publishing it. So when I'm working on a really large content update and I'm preparing, I don't know, the holiday season homepage, and I spent 30 minutes on it, and I went to get a coffee, and I came back and I was locked out of the admin. I don't know how many of you have thrown your cup of coffee to the wall. That's not a great experience. So with confidence, a merchant is able to save a page without publishing it. And then you can see the current state. So this document is saved but not published, so I understand what's going on. If I feel stupid about the decision that I made, I can easily undo and redo. So the content is going back to previous version. So that gives me a sense of secureness about the content that I'm editing. I just saved this, so I should be able to see this version back in my version history. That means that any version that I'm saving ends up here. I can pin them if I'm really proud of the page that I've built and I want to maybe reuse it next year for the next Christmas campaign. I can pin it and it will stay there forever. I can tell that this is the Christmas page. And then what else is cool? I can preview it. That's the previous version. So this is this version that I just saved. So you can easily just toggle between different versions, much like Google Docs does it. I can create a share URL to share with my colleagues. That will create a safe URL to be shared that is valid for 14 days, I think. Then it expires. So if I copy this and then go into a new URL, it's not. That's the empty version. So that's correct. I have to take the one that I'm previewing. So let's take this version. So this is not published right now, but I can view the version that I'm working on and I can send it to a colleague and they can give their feedback on the current page. What else? I can preview in different store views. So for my Somfy store view, you can see it immediately updates. And it also has separate preview URLs that I can share, so that's kind of cool. I can toggle the display here to show what the tablet version looks like, what the mobile version looks like. Yeah, I should hurry up now. There's just too many cool things to show. I could spend a lot more time. I will just quickly show you if you upload an image that in the image, I have the image editor installed here, so that's a quick preview. This is going to be integrated anywhere in the admin where you're viewing images in the gallery. So that's the image editor that I just spoke about. You can pre-configure different sizes. It's a bit messing with my resolution right now. Anyway, I can predefine what the image on the product page, what the resolution should be like. That's configurable through XML. So as a team builder or the developer, I can define the different sizes that a merchant would want to use in the image editor. And it has a lot of other features. Yeah, it's getting a bit more difficult for me to think about my own sentences. So that's kind of cool. Then when I look at the page live right now, it's still that version. If I want to publish it, then I'm finally pushing it live and I refresh and everything is super fast and frisky. Then there's one, it has image editing and it automatically compiles Tailwind classes, so that's also really cool. You can take stuff from Tailwind UI and just copy it into an HTML section and it automatically renders. And then one last thing here on the demo, and then I'll go back to the presentation and round up. I have a custom component here that I've built. It's listed under other. I can categorize that very easily. I can give it a different name, but imagine as an agency, you're building a whole library for your merchants of components that they can use that implement the styling of this merchant. This component just has a title and an image, and I just quickly want to show how bloody simple this is to implement. This is a JSON file. It gives a name and a template to this component. You can see the title and the image. It has different value types. So this here implements the image that you just saw, and here you have variants, which is really cool. I can define a different HTML file for this component. So you can see here, if I quickly add this image here as well. Yeah, a bit in a rush. So this is a different HTML file. That's all that's to it. I can define extra HTML files for different styles or templates, and it's as easy as one extra HTML file. So for different store views, for different merchants, you can extend components very easily. The developer experience on all of this is kind of amazing. Okay, I will go through this very quickly. Are you enthusiastic about the CMS? Yeah. Cool. We have an even longer demo with our core developers that have been building the CMS, Kellen and Ross. They've taken 45 minutes in an online recording showing you the whole experience of the CMS, what it currently looks like. So get the QR or find it from our website. We have more on the roadmap. So this is what we're currently working on. Then after that, we want to do a merchandising linked products. Think configurable products, but with different URLs per product. We want to build a menu builder. We want to improve email templates editing. Imagine this user experience building email templates or building menus. And then there's a whole bunch of other stuff that we want to build for commerce. Hyvä CMS will be subscription-based but perpetual. If you cancel your subscription after a year, you keep the last version that you paid for. It will include the theme and checkout. So you don't need to buy separate licenses for that. It will work with Enterprise as an add-on on top of Commerce. So that's still Hyvä Enterprise as a separate product to make it work with Adobe Commerce. And you can decide to just use one feature or the whole meta package and get all of the features of Commerce. The full roadmap, as I already showed, that's in hyvä.io/roadmap. Make a picture if you're fast. Come again! Just 3,000 euros per year. If you look at the CMS and you think of what merchants are paying for Prismic right now, which is easily hundreds and hundreds of euros per month, this should be a no-brainer. We have an upgrade path. We have a cashback for existing customers. Any money you already spent on licenses, we're gonna turn that into a kind of discount for the first year of Hyvä Commerce. So if you already have a team and a checkout license, we reduce the first year with 2,000 euros, so you keep getting value out of the existing licenses. And this is an offer that will run for a long time. You don't even need to, it's not just the first month. If you have, as an agency, merchants that just want to use the team in the first year, they can still do that and then upgrade to Commerce maybe next year. Once they're convinced they want to have the technology and extra features of Hyvä Commerce. That will happen automatically. You go to the cart and it will offer you to use the cashback. So your existing license will be turned into Hyvä Commerce. There's terms that apply that you can see from the website. We have a closed beta currently running, and all of the agents that are trying it are super enthusiastic. Early access will be available next month. It will start with Hyvä CMS and possibly the image editor. The other features will follow very shortly. It will be reduced for the first couple of weeks to 2,500 euros. So you could even be getting your first year for free if you already paid that much for existing licenses. And thank you.